Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Shack for a bit of festive fun and hopefully healthy frustration. 42 years ago, Santa delivered a Sinclair ZX Spectrum 16K, which I absolutely adored. For the whole of the holiday, whenever the family TV was free, I was tapping away on its little rubber keyboard, starting a lifelong love of computers and programming. Over the coming weeks and months, I didn't have many games, only the Horizons cassette and a totally legitimate copy of Manic Miner that I bought from the Playground shop. But later in the year, I was bought a copy of a game that kickstarted a love of an entire genre. Today, we're talking about text adventures and a little project of my own that I hope you'll, if not enjoy, at least not want to hunt me down and force me to eat sprouts. So get coffee, examine screen, press play, and Merry Christmas one and all. Here at the Shack, we'd like to give a huge thank you to the sponsor for this video, PCBWay. They help us out with all of our PCB fabrication needs and make fantastic boards at amazingly competitive prices. And it's not only PCBs that are on the menu. Apart from other fabrication services like CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication and injection moulding, PCBWay also have a great projects library of cool stuff to build from people all around the world. Oh, and if you don't like waving a soldering iron about, they can even assemble your PCBs for you. That's the PCB way. Right, on with the show. So, of course, we all know that text adventures were a cornerstone of early gaming history, offering players the chance to immerse themselves in intricate worlds limited only by their imagination, and occasionally their willingness to type use key on door in 17 different ways. Unlike modern games where visuals dominate, text adventures relied entirely on written descriptions and the player's ability to visualise the story. Today, we're diving into the world of classic text adventures, specifically those on the beloved ZX Spectrum, and even more specifically, my first foray into this genre with games from Arctic Computing, and some other games that appeared first or exclusively on the Specky. And later, I'll be revealing another absolute Spectrum exclusive that you can download and play if you've got literally nothing better to do. Later becoming known rather fancifully as interactive fiction, text adventures emerged in the late 1970s and early 1980s. Players interacted with the game by typing commands like go north, take key or examine object, and the game responded with descriptive text that should advance the story. For ZX Spectrum owners, text adventures were a popular genre as they could deliver rich, complex experiences despite the system's limited graphical capabilities. And text adventures were a great leveler in the playground argument, who's got the best computer? Text is text. Founded in the early 1980s, Arctic Computing was one of the early pioneers of text adventures on the Spectrum and produced a series of games that are still fondly remembered today. And by fondly remembered, I mean that I remember screaming at the screen umpteen million times playing Adventure A, Planet of Death. This was Arctic's first entry into the world of text adventures and set the tone for their future offerings. Players found themselves stranded on an alien planet and had to solve puzzles to escape. Playing the game now, it's hard to see the appeal even when wearing multiple pairs of rose-tinted spectacles, but at the time I was enthralled and it got me hooked on both adventures and reading in general. Arctic's Adventure B, Inca Curse, was a game I didn't play as a kid but have played since, and it was a great inspiration for my own little project. Set in a mysterious jungle, Inca Curse tasked players with exploring ancient ruins, dodging traps and uncovering hidden treasures, offering a sense of adventure reminiscent of Indiana Jones. You know, if Indiana Jones had a very limited vocabulary and an over-reliance on the word examine. Arctic followed up Adventure A and Adventure B with, yep, you guessed it, Adventure C, Ship of Doom. This sci-fi adventure placed players aboard a doomed spaceship filled with hazards and secrets. The stakes were high and the puzzles required logical thinking and experimentation. Many fans consider this game an absolute classic of the era. Now, Arctic Computing's adventures were known for their ingenuity and ambition, though they often tested players' patience with obtuse passes and cryptic puzzles. Despite these challenges, the games left an indelible mark on the ZX Spectrum gaming scene, and on me in particular, and you'll note that in my little project when we talk about obtuse passes and cryptic puzzles. I've tried to make it authentic, as you'll see. The ZX Spectrum boasted several titles that appeared first or exclusively on the platform. Take Hampstead, for example, a satirical tale on climbing the British social ladder, striving to achieve the lofty status of Hampstead residents. The game's humour and social commentary made it stand out. Today it all feels a little bit weird, and I'm pretty sure that it would offend everyone, no matter how poor or posh they may feel. While The Hobbit appeared on multiple platforms, its ZX Spectrum version was particularly impressive. Its innovative use of graphics alongside the text was frankly mind-boggling back in the day. Based on J.R.R. Tolkien's classic novel, the game featured complex puzzles and an early attempt at a dynamic world where characters acted independently, or at least semi-independently. Gandalf was notorious for wandering off when you needed him most. So, despite their age, text adventures remain beloved by retro gamers and continue to inspire modern creators. Fans have kept the spirit alive through fan-made adventures, restorations and modern tools like DAAD and Adventuron that allow enthusiasts to create new games for old systems. In a world of 4K graphics and ray tracing, there's still something magical about a blinking cursor and the words "What now?" Right then, as we celebrate the legacy of ZX Spectrum text adventures, I'm thrilled to share that I've written a little old Christmas themed adventure for the Spectrum 48K and up. Inspired by the classics, this game captures the spirit of the season with puzzles, humour and a time-travelling storyline. This has been written from the ground up in Boriel ZX Basic and using ZX Basic Studio as the IDE. There may well be bugs in it, but I have tested it through to the end and you can complete the game. When you complete the game, you're given a code which you can email through to me at shackofretro@gmail.com. Haven't yet decided what I'll do as a result of that, but I'll try and think of something depending on how many people actually send me a correct code. I suppose I need to put a deadline on this, so let's say you've got until January the 10th, 2025 to send me a code, and there's a link to the download location for the game in the description, as well as links to Boriel's Basic, the IDE and the emulators used for testing. I've also tested this on a real Spectrum and a Spectrum Next. Have fun with it, feel free to help each other out in the comments and don't come after me with a hatchet. What are your favourite ZX Spectrum text adventures? Have you tackled the puzzles of Planet of Death or braved the urban chaos of Urban Upstart? Share your stories in the comments and let's celebrate the magic of interactive fiction together, and don't forget to try out my Christmas game if you dare. Merry Christmas everyone!